Alright, hello everybody, Braden's Fish Tank channel here, fishtanktv.com. This is Braden here with a contest entry for TheChrisTelevision. So, Chris, here's my 15-gallon tank. Sorry if this video is a little bit long, but you didn't specify how long you wanted it. So, I'm just going to do this video on this tank and my newly set up 5-gallon, because both these tanks are basically newly set up. I just did them both over the weekend. So, this guy, 15-gallon shell dweller tank. I don't know if you've seen it, but gonna explain a little bit more in depth in what I'm doing with it, why I set it up. So first off, set this up on Friday. Today's Monday, so it hasn't been running for that long. Running an aqua-tech 515-gallon hang-on back power filter, and I love these guys. I mean, they're nice and quiet, but they're pretty reliable. They don't give out great flow. It really depends on what model you get. I mean, it's not bad flow, and I think it should be alright for a shelly tank, especially that I have, plants like anacris that'll help oxygenate the water. I might get an air stone running on here, in the back. I'm not sure yet, but anyways, heater is just a no-name brand. I got this in one of those kits, so 50-watt heater. Looks pretty nice, though. And it does the job. It's reliable. It's 78 degrees. As far as the substrate, I use pool filter sand, and I know you just redid your 10-gallon tank, which looks pretty good, and congratulations on the 100 subs, by the way. But I use pool filter sand like you have, and I have to say this substrate is really good. Yours seems to be a little bit dusty, but I washed mine off a little bit first, but like you did, you kind of just poured it in. You don't really need to wash it off. To other people watching this, you don't really need to wash it off. I'd still do it just as a precaution, but it's really clean. I mean, at least the place I got it from had clean sand. Dwarf sedge, I call this a little dwarf sedge garden over here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stems of it. Hopefully it'll grow. I'm not ferting this tank. You know that I don't fert my tanks. I use dirt and light. So as far as lighting goes, just a regular fluorescent hood. I've never really had these hoods with the strip lights. So this comes up. It's kind of unique. I never really had these ones where this part moves and then you've got the separate hood. So that's kind of cool. I'm usually more used to, just full tank hoods like this that run, incandescent or CFLs. Not tanks like this that run, tube strip lights. So, fluorescent strips. As far as the shells, 36 of them came in a pack, in a box, Amazon, 15 bucks, free 2-day shipping, so that worked well. And, yeah, if you ever do set up a multi-tank, or any type of shell dweller tank, which I think you should actually do, and my reason why I set this tank up, is because, I have the 3 beta tanks and the 14-gallon, and they're all nice, and I love betas and everything, but I kind of wanted something unique and different. I have all these tanks, and I wanted to do one more tank, but I wanted it to be different and something that would kind of be a little special rather than just a common planted beta tank. Also, I saved some money because plants can get expensive. I mean, people know that plants can be expensive. So I saved some money with this using rocks. As far as the rocks go, these guys are just rocks from outside. Scrubbed them off real well with a clean toothbrush that hasn't been used. And then I boiled them 30 to 45 minutes in a big pot. And they were ready to go, Didn't really have to do much more than that. So that was pretty good. Pet shops will try and sell you rocks. But I'm kind of a do-it-yourself person. Like to make stuff myself, not really waste a lot of money, because I'm a kid like you, so I don't, we need to save money. As far as plants go, I already showed you this anacris back there, which, it's a hardy plant. The shell dwellers may dig. The shell dwellers will probably dig, so the anacris may get torn up, and same with this dwarf sedge right here. But, I have good hopes for it, so I have some right there, got the dwarf sedge down there. Big Java fern with a couple little plantlets. Once they get a little bigger, I'll break those off and throw them like on this rock with this other guy right here. That's baby Java fern. Baby Java fern, Anubias with Barteri, I think it is. That's what I think it is, not sure. And then an Acris. You can kind of see the nice growth on this guy, though. I think that guy's getting a little more light than this one just because it's behind this rock. But I think that produces a pretty nice looking thing. I put a lot of caves in here. You can see that cave. You can see all these little caves. I'll give you a behind shot in a sec. And it's pretty cool because I'm doing brevis in here. I'm doing 1 male, 3 females. So, you know, I need to have nice hiding places. I have a ton of shells, though. I have a lot more shells than I really need to have in this tank. But, you know, I want to keep my fish happy and healthy. And I want them to have a lot of places to hide and feel secure. Because, you know, when fish feel secure, they'll actually come out more often. So here you can see, have some shells in the back. Right there. Right there. Just the rock works pretty cool. I really enjoy kind of doing these because usually in planted tanks I feel like there's a lot of things to do. Like you can't really screw up on planted tanks. You have to do like this precise kind of stuff. There's nice anubias roots and caves. So we'll move on to the next tank. But what I'm saying is, like with planted tanks like this, just redid my 5-gallon and this is the final product. But you know, you have to put your short plants in the front and put your tall plants in the back, and you have to use specific plants. You have to do all this lighting. But with a shelter water tank, you know, you put sand down, you throw in some rocks and shells, and you're good. You know, so it can. What I'm trying to get at is you can make something like this guy right here. Like I think it looks really nice, and I don't have a lot of plants in it, but it just looks really nice, and it's simple and easy to make look nice. But then something like this tank, you kind of have to work a little bit harder to get it to look nice, you know. And I like this look, but some people might not. So like with that tank, I think a lot of people will think that it looks really nice. But with this tank, you know, I could get comments saying, oh yeah, it looks good, and then other people saying, yeah, I liked it the way it looked before, or I don't really like it that much. Because, you know, everybody has their own opinion with planted tanks. You have to, some people like doing it a certain way. So yeah, this is Winston. You know Winston. He's really sweet double-tail beta. Picked him up at Petco. I've got a 10-watt CFL compact fluorescent bulb on here, full spectrum. Yeah, so that works well. Got an aqua-tech 515, same one that's on the 15-gallon. I already said I love these filters, so they're real quiet and good flow. Too much flow, I feel, for a 5-gallon with a beta. I would love if these filters were adjustable flow. I haven't had a filter with adjustable flow, but they seem cool. Or else you have to do something funky like this, which is my little filter baffle. I found it on betafish.com or betafish.org. I forget which one. Pretty cool website, though, and I made it out of a plastic bottle. So the flow isn't direct, and it gets dispersed out of the 2 sides, so it's not as violent. Elite 25-watt heater, mini heater, found on Amazon. I have that in this tank. I have that in this tank, and I have it in that tank too. So they're real nice heaters for 5-gallon tanks, 10-gallon tanks. You can get 50-watt versions. I have a 50-watt in the 6-gallon over there, and I have, you know, 25 watts in these 2 5s, and they're all really reliable. Totally recommend those heaters and the aqua-tech filters. They're real nice. So, as far as this tank goes, dwarf's edge in the front, totally redid it. Now I got clay, dirt, pool filter sand. I had clay, dirt, gravel. The gravel I used was too big, so I had dirt. And some people have been saying, like, oh yeah, dirt's so messy and everything. Alright, so this was my first dirt tank, and it was very messy. I didn't dirt it right. If you do it properly, you won't have a dirty mess. You know, this tank, I haven't seen any dirt come up at all in this tank, and it's been running for a couple of weeks now, almost a month. This tank I just did yesterday, and you'd think you'd have to do water changes. I haven't done any water changes on this since I've dirted it. A lot of people will be doing like 5 of them, and that's what I had to do. I had to do a ton of them on this tank when I first dirted it because I didn't use this right type gravel, and I didn't take my time. And I used too much dirt and too much clay. You don't really need that much clay or dirt, you know? An inch of it, and then an inch cap of substrate. Mine's a little sloppy. You can make it look a little bit better, but I mean, pool filter sand's the way to go, guys. I've been doing gravel, but I'm really in love with pool filter sand. Really opens up the tank too. So I'm glad that you use it on your Tiger Prop tank, because I think that looks sweet, especially with the sand. So, yeah, that'll look good if you ever redo the 37-gallon to use as the cap for the dirt. So dwarf sedge in the front, hopefully that'll grow. Wisteria, little wiggy repens, rotella. I have a couple shells from the shell dweller tank I just showed you, just to give the tank a little bit more character. Anubias on the driftwood in the middle. Rotella indica, some type of sword. I don't know what type of sword that is. Dwarf hairgrass, which isn't growing that well. It's a high-tech tank, kind of with CO2, and I don't really use CO2. Moneywort, I love this plant. It's a sweet plant. And then this plant's also awesome. It's called Bacopa, or Lemon Bacopa, I'm pretty sure. And it's really sweet. I love it. I might actually get some more of that, because I found it at my Petco and I didn't know what it was, but I'm pretty sure it's Lemon Bacopa, because it looks a lot like Bacopa, and it smells like lemons, which is pretty sweet. So when you're cutting it, you get to smell lemons. So maybe get some more of that, fill in the back. Pretty happy with the way this tank turned out, though. Got wisteria and rotella in the mix back there. More rotella back there, and some right there, as well as, you know, a whole lot back there and back there. Anacris in the front, and a little bit of little wiggy repens in there. Tank's at about 77, 78 degrees, which is what I like to keep most of my tanks at. Shell dweller tank's a little bit lower, 77 degrees. These guys I like to keep 78 to around 80. That's where I like, because betas like the warm water. Betas like 80 degrees. This guy's at about exactly 80 degrees. So yeah, this is the contest entry for Chris and TheChrisTelevision. And I hope you enjoyed it, Chris. Sorry about the long video, but I'm known for long videos, and I like doing them. So here's the 5-gallon tank. If I do win the contest, I really do like your prize selection with the Prime and the PetSmart card, because I could really use some Prime, actually. I want to try that out. So, yeah, here's the 15-gallon. One last look at that tank. Looking really good. So I'll keep updates on all the tanks, especially on that new 15-gallon, on when I'm getting the fish and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, this tank's kind of looking pretty good. I'm just kind of going to let it roll and take off. Let the plants kind of acclimate to the new tank style, and just let it roll, because you don't really want to be futzing with your plants. You kind of just want to let them grow, and then eventually, you know, you can trim them and move them once they're established. But at this point, when you've just kind of set up the tank, you want to try and leave everything alone and just kind of let it get started. When I can't show you the inside of the filter, but it's not really established anymore. It was established, but I cleaned the whole thing out because this tank just reeked, because I didn't dirt it properly, and a plant was rotting in the substrate. So yeah, that's the 5-gallon tanks, folks. That's the 515. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe if you liked the video. Alright, thanks for watching. Also, any video requests? I'm really enjoying the positive comments too that I'm getting. I'm getting a lot of positive comments on the tanks. 5-gallon Hex is kind of a mess right now. That'll be another video, though. So yeah, I'm really liking the positive comments and feedback that I'm getting from people. So sorry that it's been so long. I'm gonna end this video right now and spare you for any longer. So see you guys, and I hope I win the contest. Alright, best of luck to you guys. See you later.